Well, you're about to see one very hard-hitting storyline on the street, and it's been done absolutely fantastic. Over the last 18 months, we've watched this storyline develop. We were lucky enough to speak to some of the cast that are involved in this storyline and find out exactly what their thoughts on the storyline and also saying goodbye to one of their fellow cast members feels like.
Now then, we've just watched this beautiful episode, and I say beautiful because it is. It's really well put together. It's got heart. It's got everything that is kind of correct and right for a send-off for Paul.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you felt that. It's. I mean, as obviously, it's quite an upsetting watch, but as you say, I think it is befitting of the last sort of 18 months worth of work that we've done, trying very hard to be truthful, not only to the characters, but obviously to somebody who is living with MND and their carers. So
Heartbreaking.
Very emotional. Yeah. We'd actually forgot a lot about it because we filmed it months ago, and it's the first time we've seen it. So we were in bits as well.
I mean, it must be, as an actor, you know, you're coming to an end of a run, but also as a character and all the work that you've put into it. I mean, when did the work begin for you?
For the MND storyline, probably, I was probably informed about it just under 2 years ago. And then probably, it's been a good 18 months that we've done this storyline since the beginning. So, we've kind of played it out in real time, which has been great for an actor to be able to do that as well.
As an actor, you must get excited when you see a big storyline like this and a long storyline. You know that you're going to be working hard at something. But also, you must be kind of juxtapositioned with that, knowing that you're going to be delivering something so heartbreaking. How do you find the balance in that work and kind of home life, really?
I mean, obviously, like you said, it's exciting to be trusted with such a big story, and there is always a massive pressure to make sure that you are getting it right, that you are representing the people that you're playing correctly and truthfully, because my family and I have actually lived through a family member with MND. There was a strange comfort in knowing that we were getting it right, so that took the pressure off, weirdly, because I could tell that we weren't misrepresenting the community. In terms of trying to get a life balance, it's difficult with a job like this because sometimes you're really busy, sometimes you're not. When you're not really busy, that's when you get to have a bit of life. Mm-hmm. When you are really busy, I'm up at about 5:30 in the morning, working through until 7 o'clock at night. Still got lines to learn when you get home. Still trying to walk the dogs, pick up the dog poo, cook, wash your pants, do all the things that you've got to do normally. Mm-hmm. In bed by 9, up again at 5:30. So life-work balance, you balance it out at different points. You know, I mean, we're getting to a point now for Billy in the story where things will inevitably sort of quieten down for a little while. That's when I balance my life.
As an actor, has it been a major challenge?
It's been challenging, absolutely, but I guess that's what we want as actors. We want something like that to be able to get our teeth stuck into, really. And again, with it being something that real people live with, you want to get it right. You don't want to misrepresent it. Quite a lot of pressure, but it's been great to do as well, and to be able to raise awareness and a bit of money for MND. That makes it all the worthwhile.
Tackling a real life subject for you, there must be a lot of pressure on your shoulders.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as I was saying, you've got real people and the families that deal with this day in and day out, and it's kind of like, in honor of them, you want to get it right. Absolutely, and hopefully we have shown people who didn't know anything about it that, they might have more of an insight to it now.
Okay, so we've watched this episode. He's kind of been there 99.9% for Paul. Mm-hmm. And during this now, he's just not there at that last minute. I mean, was it annoying for you reading that, knowing that you're not there, or did you feel it was the fitting way to do it?
I think it's important to show that not all deaths are perfect. Mm-hmm. Not everybody gets to pass with all of their loved ones around them. Yeah. And I think that's probably what we've tried to show here in this story, that as sort of much as Billy's been there for Paul 100% of the time, unfortunately, as happens with some people, death isn't perfect.
Wow. I mean, where is this going to go then? Are we allowed to say where this might go? I mean, he's obviously going to be feeling some terrible sort of remorse and blame for not being there at the last minute, isn't there?
Yeah, of course, terrible amount of guilt. And you know, not just that, but sadness, remorse. He's, you know, and he's going to be grieving his husband. So, yeah, I think there's a little bit of a tumultuous time coming up for Billy.
Where would you, as Paul, looking down, like to see this kind of go?
Just that, you know, that they just get their heads together and get on with it and don't argue with each other, kind of thing. But as me, it's what I'm really looking forward to seeing all the episodes after this.
Yeah.
Because I've not read any of them. I don't get scripts anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. That was my last script I got. So I know they're doing such hard work, and obviously the aftermath of a loved one dying, that's, they're covering so much with that. So I'm really excited to see how they deal with all that. Yeah.
Then you add on to that the other layer, which of course is a religious man.
Yes.
So how can he feel that the religion's doing him good? Does he feel it's doing him good? And how will that affect ultimately the final farewell to Paul?
Well, I mean, obviously Billy being an archdeacon, he's very comforted that Paul has gone to a better place. He is under no delusions that at some point when it's time for Billy to meet his maker that he will see Paul again. So he does take some comfort in that, but at the end of the day he's also human and therefore will have to endure grief as well.
And the funeral, is that going to be a nice, calming sort of religious event?
You will have to wait and see.
For people who don't know about this illness, what would you say to them if they come across somebody that is suffering with it? What would you like their reaction to be to somebody?
I guess just that, you know, that you know, that's still a person. That's still the same person they always were. It's just the body's not quite working like it used to, really. I mean, I guess just that, and that, you know, it's really tough for them and their loved ones and the families, and yeah, absolutely. And you know, next time they see an MMD bucket for charity, I hope they flick some money in there.
Well, as you can see, there is a lot more still to come from this storyline. It might have ended for Paul, but I reckon the rest of the family are going to have a lot more in store. So keep checking out Corrie. It's going to be absolutely fantastic.